What's good, everyone? Welcome to my channel. And before I begin, I want to let each and every one of you know that this may be the first video that's on this channel, but I previously had a channel before called That Reaction Guy, and I somewhat just gave up on that. So I started this new one because I forgot the password to the old one, and yeah, that's about it. So let me see. Today's video is a scary story video, and it's by Steven. I think Steven something. Steven something. But I watch his videos all the time, and they're really good horror stories. But this one I've never seen. So it's called Crazy Roommate Craigslist Animation or whatever, something like that. But I'm gonna put the link to the original video in the description, so you guys can check it out when, or if not, if you don't want to see it with me. So yeah, let's dive on in.
Max was a new college transfer student looking to rent out a room on Craigslist. Fortunately, he found a nice two-bedroom apartment for cheap rent and close to campus, so it was the ideal spot. The girl who lived there was named Beth, and she was 29. She was tall with jet black hair and wore pale makeup. She seemed nice, although a little quiet, but she decided to let Max move in. During their first night living together, both of them went out for pizza, and that's when Max could tell there was something a little bit off with Beth. Throughout dinner, she kept telling him how much he looks like Shia LaBeouf. Max didn't know what to say, so he just shrugged it off with a thanks, even though he looks nothing like him. When they got back home, Beth asked if he wanted to see her room. Her walls were covered in posters of Shia LaBeouf. She even had printed out photos of him all over her mirror. She owned all his movies, and Max didn't know what to make out of it. The entire night, Beth had been saying how much he looks like him, and now it's obvious that she's obsessed with the guy. A few weeks passed, and they never really saw each other that much. Beth would come home from work and practically run into her room and spend the whole night there. She had this creepy, high-pitched giggle, and Max would hear her giggling through the walls all night. What the hell could she possibly be doing? Occasionally, Beth would come out and talk for like...
See, if I was Max, I would have got the fuck, because first of all, somebody who laughs like that, I would get creeped out very easily. So I would have just dipped on the second they laughed again. Shit. But yeah, my dude, if I were you, I'd get the hell out of there. She is gonna freaking stab you one day, just come up from behind you while you're watching TV, eating your little food. She's gonna get that little dagger or that knife, and she's gonna stick it in your neck, bruh. Nah, fuck out of there.
2 minutes, and she would always be slurring her words, so Max suspected that she was drinking a lot. Sometimes Beth wouldn't say anything, and she would just stand in the hallway and watch him in the living room.
Exactly what I just said.
Max would turn around to see her and say, "Hello, Beth," and then there would be this long, awkward pause while she gave out her creepy, high-pitched giggle. It was uncomfortable being around Beth, and she gave him the chills. One night, Max woke up at around 2 a.m. because he heard what sounded like the front door being unlocked. He came out of his bedroom and all the lights were off, but he could still see Beth standing at the front door. She had her face against it, and she was turning the lock back and forth over and over again. And every time she turned the bolt, she mumbled Max's name. Max Barker. Max Barker. Max Barker. Seeing her standing in the dark, mumbling his name really freaked Max out, and it doesn't help that she kind of looks like the bigger version of the girl from The Ring. Max quietly went back to his room and tried to sleep, but couldn't, and just stayed up the entire night. Another night, he was watching Gladiator, and she stumbled out of her room and turned on the living room light, which forced him to pause the movie. She then asked if Max wanted to hear about her ex-boyfriend. It was so random and sudden, but he just said sure, and then awkwardly sat back.
No, bitch, I don't care about your boyfriend.
10 minutes into her story, and she was so riled up. She was screaming at the top of her lungs about their breakup. Max was worried that the neighbors were going to call the cops, and she wasn't listening when Max was asking her to lower the volume. Amidst all of her screaming, one thing she said really freaked him out. She was in such a fit and yelled, "I'll slit his throat." Suddenly, Max had no idea what this girl was capable of. She was practically a stranger, and everything he had seen was becoming alarmingly disturbing. After a few more minutes, she told him thanks for listening, and she started doing her giggle again. Max got out of there pretty fast, and he had a pretty
Thanks for
unsettled
listening.
feeling about being in the house with her. And what's
What the
worse was that there was no lock on his bedroom door. He pushed the edge of his dresser in front of it to act as a little barricade.
There you go.
Max woke up in the middle of the night to the sound of his dresser scraping against the floor. Beth was pushing the door open. He turned on the light, shouting at her to stop, and he could see her through the opening of the door. She was so drunk and had this insane look in her eyes. Max yelled at her to go to bed. You could hear her walk back to her
get the
room.
fuck, ho.
Again, there was no way he was able to fall back asleep. The next morning, when Max went out into the hallway, his heart dropped. He saw one of her steak knives on the floor by his door. All he could think about was how she was saying she would slit that guy's throat. Max confronted her about it, and she said she doesn't remember trying to push his door open. She says she doesn't even remember telling him about her ex.
Bitch, you know what's
Max had
going on.
enough. His lease was month to month, so he found a new spot and moved out. Not long after, Beth contacted him again.
Finally,
Max
somebody
was at the
that's
movies,
smart.
And when he turned on his phone, to his shock, he received over 40 text messages that she had sent him over the past 2 hours. They were all just insane texts that ranged from everything between "Hi, how are you?" to "I hate you." Max never responded, and he never heard from Beth again. However, he always wondered if he hadn't set his dresser in front of his door that night, would she have quietly come into his room and slit his throat?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. 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 See? This is exactly why you always oh shit, I didn't mean for that to happen.
I was texting this
No,
girl.
bitch. This is why you always find somebody that you know to share rent with. You don't go looking for strangers, especially on Craigslist. Okay, Craigslist is just the hell of buying things off the internet. It's basically the underworld of. It's just as bad as the black market. Like, you don't go on Craigslist ever, first of all, and then second of all, sharing a house with somebody that you don't know from Craigslist. I mean, it's just common sense, but still, like, fuck, live with your people. Shit, I mean, he probably had some school shit going on, so. But still, that's probably why he had to find somebody. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention to the first part of the story, but whatever. So, but yeah, that's all I gotta say. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, please make sure to subscribe, show your support, all that good stuff. I am gonna leave the link in the description. Steven, whatever your name is. I know the name of the channel is Steven something, but I just can't remember. But another great video. I really never seen that one before, and now I know what to do if I ever share a room with somebody that I don't know. So yeah. Anyways, definitely comment. Give me some recommendations. I always look for recommendations whenever I do reactions. So yeah. Um, I'll see you guys later.